long before history was even a thing, before the first empires rose and crumbled into dust, we humans were telling stories. Tales of gods, terrifying monsters, and incredible heroes. And today, we're going to dive into the oldest one we've ever found. This is a story that was literally carved into clay tablets almost 4,000 years ago. This is the Epic of Gilgamesh.
So what is the oldest story ever told? Well, think about this. It's a story that wrestles with the exact same huge questions we're still asking ourselves today. Questions like, what does it really mean to be human? How do you find any meaning when you know your time is limited? And maybe the toughest one of all, what do you do when you lose someone you can't live without? It all kicks off with this one truly extraordinary guy.
And here he is, Gilgamesh. The poem introduces him as, well, more than just a king. He's this explorer of cosmic secrets, a guy who saw the secret, discovered the hidden, and get this, he supposedly brought back knowledge from a time before the Great Flood. That's just wild. So we're talking about a figure of incredible power, incredible wisdom. But you know how it is, every great story needs a great conflict. And for Gilgamesh, the first monster he has to face is himself.
Okay, so our story doesn't kick off with some heroic deed. No, it starts with a huge problem. The great king Gilgamesh, the guy who built the amazing city of Uruk, he was also its biggest, baddest tyrant.
And this contrast right here just perfectly sums up Gilgamesh. On one hand, the guy's a marvel. He's 2/3 god, 1/3 human. Basically a perfect specimen of strength and beauty. But that perfection, it has a really dark side. He's this incredibly arrogant tyrant who thinks he's entitled to absolutely everything and everyone in his city. His power is totally unchecked, and man, his people are really suffering because of it.
But the cries of his people, they don't just fade into the air. They travel all the way up to the heavens. And the gods, they hear them. They listen to all these complaints and decide, okay, something has to be done. Their perfect creation, Gilgamesh, he needs something to balance him out. He needs a rival. More than that, he needs an equal.
So, the gods come up with this absolutely brilliant plan. To deal with this, civilized tyrant, they decide they're going to create his polar opposite. A man of pure nature, a wild man straight from the untamed wilderness.
And that wild man is Enkidu. The goddess Ururu literally shapes him from clay, and he is the complete mirror opposite of Gilgamesh. This guy is a creature of the wild, totally innocent of civilization. He lives with the animals, eats grass with the gazelles. He's pure, untamed nature itself, and he is destined to be Gilgamesh's match in every single way.
But here's the catch. Before he can challenge the king, Enkidu has to be brought into the world of humans, and his transformation starts with a temple priestess named Shamhat. They spend a whole week together, 6 days and 7 nights, and through this encounter, Enkidu awakens to human consciousness, to knowledge. But this awakening, it comes with a heavy price. The wild animals, who were basically his family, they now run away from him. He's become civilized, sure, but he's also lost that pure innocence forever.
So now that he's, changed, Shamhat tells him all about the world of men. And she tells him about this arrogant king, Gilgamesh, who's making life miserable for his people. And when Enkidu hears this, something clicks. The newly civilized man finds his purpose. He's going to go to Uruk, and he's going to challenge this tyrant.
All right, this is it, the moment of truth. We've got two beings of just immense, incredible power. One represents civilization, the other represents the wild, and they are about to have a showdown right in the middle of Uruk.
So Enkidu plants himself right in Gilgamesh's path. He's blocking the king from entering a wedding, where Gilgamesh planned to exercise his disgusting right to sleep with the bride before her husband. And the fight that breaks out, it's just legendary. They grapple, and they are so perfectly matched in strength that the entire city feels it. The doorposts tremble, the walls shake. For the very first time in his life, Gilgamesh has met someone who can actually stand up to him.
And then, just when you think it's going to be a fight to the death, the story takes this incredible turn. Instead of one of them ending up dead, the battle ends in mutual respect. In that struggle, Gilgamesh finds the one thing he has never, ever had: a true equal, a brother. It's amazing, really. The very person sent by the gods to curb his arrogance ends up becoming his closest friend.
And this friendship, it is a total game changer. All that restless energy Gilgamesh used to spend being a tyrant, it now has a new direction. He's got a new ambition: to make a name for himself, to leave a mark on the world that will last forever, to achieve immortal fame by doing something truly heroic.
So what's their first big quest? They decide to journey to the cedar forest to kill its monstrous guardian, a creature named Humbaba. But check out their different perspectives. Gilgamesh is all about it. He knows he's going to die one day, so he's thinking, if I die, at least I'll have made a name for myself. But Enkidu? He knows how terrifying this monster is. He's heard its roar, he's just filled with dread. And that's a key tension in the story, isn't it? That human drive for glory clashing right up against the primal fear of death.
Man, the journey is just brutal. It's long, it's exhausting, and every single night, Gilgamesh has these awful, awful nightmares. We're talking mountains crumbling on top of him, fire raining down from the sky, terrifying stuff. But every morning, Enkidu is there, and he takes these horrible visions and reinterprets them, spins them into good omens, just to give Gilgamesh the courage to keep going. That's a real friend right there.
And they actually pull it off. With a little help from the sun god Shamash, they manage to kill the monster Humbaba and chop down the sacred cedars. They come back to Uruk as these massive triumphant heroes. They conquered the wilderness, they stared down this terrifying power. I mean, this is it. This is the absolute peak of their glory. They're on top of the world.
But you know how these old stories go. Pride comes before a fall. And when you're at the absolute peak of success, that's when you can get supremely arrogant. And this, right here, is where our heroes make a huge, fatal mistake.
So, imagine this. The goddess Ishtar herself, we're talking the goddess of love and war, she sees Gilgamesh all cleaned up, looking magnificent in his royal gear, and she is just floored, completely overcome with desire. She walks right up to him and offers him marriage, promising him pretty much everything: unbelievable wealth, incredible power, the whole package.
But Gilgamesh, he doesn't just say no thanks, oh no. He cruelly, scornfully rejects her. And then, to add insult to injury, he starts listing off all her past mortal lovers, one by one, and describing how she destroyed every single one of them. He mocks her, he belittles her power. I mean, this is an act of just breathtaking arrogance. A mortal man viciously insulting one of the most powerful and volatile goddesses there is. What was he thinking?
Well, you do not want to get on Ishtar's bad side. She is humiliated, she is enraged, so she runs to her father, the sky god Anu, and demands revenge. She unleashes the Bull of Heaven, a divine beast of destruction, to go and wreck Uruk. But what happens? Gilgamesh and Enkidu, working together as a team, they actually manage to kill the Bull of Heaven. So let's recap. They've now killed 2 divine guardians and have openly, publicly defied the gods. This is not going to end well.
Okay, the gods have had enough. This just can't be allowed to stand. The heroes have gone way, way too far, and their pride has finally sealed their fate. The gods all gather in a great council to figure out their punishment, and this is where the story pivots toward its tragic climax.
The verdict is delivered to Enkidu in a dream, and it's brutal. The gods have decided that a price has to be paid, and it has to be paid in blood. But here's the twist. They're not going to strike down the king, the 2/3 god, Gilgamesh. No. Instead, they're going to take his mortal friend, his other half. The verdict is, Enkidu must die.
And this is where we see Gilgamesh's pure agony. This is the mightiest king on earth, a guy who can kill monsters, who can build magnificent city walls, and he is completely, utterly powerless to save his best friend. All he can do is watch as Enkidu gets sick and slowly dies, paying the ultimate price for their shared glory and their shared arrogance. And this isn't some quick death in battle. No, it's a slow, painful sickness. It's a punishment designed to make both of them suffer as much as possible.
The death of Enkidu just shatters Gilgamesh. I mean, it completely breaks him. His brother, his other half, is gone. And for the very first time, the great king comes face to face with the terrifying personal reality that he too will die. And suddenly, everything he's done, the quest for fame, the walls he built, the monsters he killed, all of it just seems hollow, meaningless. It's nothing compared to this ultimate loss. This raw, unfiltered grief changes absolutely everything. It strips away the king, the hero, the demigod, and all that's left is a man who is terrified of his own end. His old life is over, and a new, desperate quest is about to begin. But this time, it's not for glory. It's for the secret to eternal life. And so, this ancient, ancient story leaves us with a question that feels so incredibly modern. When you lose the one thing that gives your life meaning, how on earth do you go on?